Hello and welcome back to my Dublin digital diary for my Erasmus culture module. So in this video I'll be talking about my 5th week here in Dublin, and this was my 2nd week of placement and I was in nuclear medicine. It was kind of surprising to me to know that I was taking nuclear medicine because I'm having 3 months of it back home. In Portugal we have the department separated, and here in Ireland they have the nuclear medicine department integrated in the radiology department, which I totally think makes sense, especially when we are now seeing that basically every gamma camera has a CT scan accumulated to it, so it makes sense for a radiographer and someone who's trained in radiology and knows how to work a CT scan to also work nuclear medicine, which we now have it in Portugal as well with the newly degree. But besides that, on this week we had a friend, Beatrice's boyfriend, stay over with us, and unfortunately, just like last week, this week I wasn't feeling too well. I've been struggling with my health for quite a while, even back in Portugal, and at this time I was just going through a bit of a acute period, a bit of a crisis, so I wasn't really taking advantage of my time here because of my health condition, but I did eventually get better and I did go to a doctor, which helped a lot. But this week, when I was feeling better, by Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, we decided to go to one of Ireland's museums. So Ireland has national museums that are free entry, which is amazing to me. I don't think there are many museums free entry in Portugal. They aren't that expensive, but they're not free. And I think that's such an important thing to have because it's really good for everyone, but like especially kids, when you have younger kids, to take them to these kinds of stuff and to interact with more cultural activities. So I definitely think it's a really interesting thing and a really positive thing that is done here in Ireland. So we went to the Museum of Archaeology and I took special attention to the photos I'm showing you. This exposition was of remains that have been found, and they did a CT scan, and through that scan they did a reconstruction, and they did a 3D model of that reconstruction and basically made a model of the face that is found on the first picture right there. So I really thought that was interesting, especially having in mind what I'm studying. Besides the expositions themselves, I also thought that the architecture was really nice. I don't know much about architecture, but it's very different in Portugal than in Dublin. In everyday, in like houses, but also museums in Portugal, I would say, have a more extravagant, exaggerated architecture, and not necessarily in a good way. Even though there are gold appointments all throughout the museums here, it's done in a more tasteful way, I think. So I also really enjoyed that cross and the whole Viking exposition that was next to it, and also the Egyptian exposition was also really interesting and very pretty to look at. So after that, we wanted to go to St. Stephen's Green Park, but it was closed. Just like I've been telling throughout the weeks, the schedules here are very different from the schedules in Portugal. Here, things just close so much earlier. In Portugal, parks either don't close, or if they do close, they close at like 8 p.m. probably. And here it was closed by like 5 or 6 p.m., which is very early, and we were not expecting that, obviously. But since we were there, we just took a stroll through Grafton Street. We took that opportunity and just walked into some stores. Here in Dublin, you have a lot of stores that we don't have either like in the cities that we live at in Portugal, or we don't have in Portugal at all. So we walked to the Disney store, because I think there's only one in like Lisbon now, and we are all fans of either Disney or Marvel, and they have like statues inside, so it was nice to take pictures with those statues and just look through stuff. I was tempted to buy some stuff, but I didn't, so I was proud of myself, because it's very important for us to save money here, because the prices here are basically higher in everything than the ones in Portugal, and we are still on Portuguese salaries, so we have to save a bit of money in every way that we can. So then we went to stores that we don't have, like Victoria's Secret and Ted Baker. Just like the economy here is very different. Like Ted Baker is a very high-end brand. I don't think we have a store of that in Portugal, and most people in Portugal wouldn't be able to afford the price tags of that store, I would say. So it's just very interesting to see a street like Grafton Street that has stores like Ted Baker, Louis Vuitton, and just very high-end stores, and compared to what we have in Portugal, we still have those stores like Cartier, for example, but you don't see as much people inside them, I would say. So that's very interesting to me, because even though the prices are higher here, the salaries are so much higher too, so it does compensate. And also something very interesting, you don't pay water here. In Portugal we have to pay for like running water in our house. Here apparently you don't, which I think is great, because water is a basic necessity. Everyone needs to drink it, everyone needs to shower, so that's great. So while taking a walk, we also passed through some florists, and we all the girls got flowers. The guys bought it for us. I got 3 red roses, which roses are some of my favorite flowers, so I really loved it. And again, I think I'm really doing an economy commentary on this video, but being here 5 weeks now, I think I really have been thinking about this a lot, and I do want to be mindful of that even in this video. So the flowers here were also expensive, I must say. So that was a really nice gesture, especially in here. I think it takes another meaning. So when we hear about Erasmus, and when I hear about other people, my friends' Erasmus experience, they always talk about how they made so many friends and how they are so close. They still keep contact, and I must admit I've been a little sad about that in here. I don't know if it's because I came with 3 of my closest friends, or if it's just like the group itself. They're all nice people, don't get me wrong, but I think they're all more like going out people, having fun, partying, which I'm not at the moment. I have been, but I'm not anymore. But we just haven't made a lot of friends. But the ones we've made, I think, are pretty good. So I've been talking about hanging out with the girls from Finland, Emma, Emilia, and Johanna. They're all really nice. I think they're more like us than the rest of the Erasmus people, especially Emma. We have like a running joke that we are like twins from different countries, and I just think it's really interesting how 2 people can grow in such different countries, Portugal and Finland, different weather, economy, lifestyle, different everything basically, and we still have so much in common. So Saturday night we just invited him over. Johanna actually didn't come because she wasn't feeling too well, but we just played some games, talked, we showed each other music from each other's countries, which was really funny, and we showed like the dances that go along with the songs. So it was a really fun night, and it has been really fun getting to know these 3 girls in particular. And this was my week. I will see you in the next one. Bye.